A little while back, I was fortunate to come into possession of a digital drum kit. The only problem was, it was missing some bits. I'm Sev, and in this video I'm going to give you a bit of an insight into how electronic drums work.
Hello, Internet!
Okay, so to cut a long story short,
A little while back, I got this Ashton Rhythm VX electronic drum kit. I say got. What I mean is, someone threw it out. I mean, it's not like I went dumpster diving or anything, but it's pretty obvious that someone didn't want it. And I'd always wanted an electronic kit, but as I'm not a drummer, and historically I've been shit on the drums, could never justify buying a kit. So once I got it home and used about a million baby wipes on it, made sure that it powered on. It did. I plugged one of the pads into each of the inputs to see if the main brain of the kit worked. It did. However, the snare pad had fallen to pieces, and the bass pedal pad was missing. So I went to my local guitar store and got a quote on the bits I needed, which came to nearly the cost of a new kit. So I scratched that idea. After performing a non-branded web search, I was able to learn enough that I could make a couple of new triggers. Sure enough, I got what I needed and...
woohoo, free drum kit. Now, there are two kinds of digital drum kits. One is a full electronic kit, and the other is a trigger which attaches to an actual drum. Starting with the electronic kit, the drum pads work because of a little piece of white man's magic called a piezo transducer. I won't go into the specifics of it, but piezos can work as either an input or an output. As an input, it creates a charge when it's deformed, and it deforms when you hit it with a stick. Give it a little tap, it deforms a little and creates a small signal. Hit it harder, and it creates much noise. Enough chat, let's open one up. Inside, we see a piezo glued directly onto a metal plate. This one's a snare drum, so it has a second piezo attached to the body so that you can do rim shots. The metal plate sits between two layers of foam, which then have a rubber skin over the top to hold the whole thing together. The piezo is then connected to a jack. That's it. The real work is done by the drum processor. With that in mind, piezo, metal plate, foam. Here we can see the bass drum pad that I built. The piezo is glued directly to a furniture coaster, and then a jack soldered onto the end of it. And as you can see, it works. Earlier I mentioned drum triggers. Triggers clip onto the rim of an actual drum head, use a transducer, and I guess they're the same thing. Except they're not. Whereas an electronic kit is intended as an alternative to a traditional kit, triggers are more commonly used to enhance a kit. You can connect your triggers to a mixer for live performances, or as an alternative to microphones when you're recording your drums in the studio. And you can always turn the triggers off and your drums will sound like drums again. Industrial metal bands are known to use triggers as well, because it allows them to incorporate some synth parts into their drum tracks, like this. Hell, you could even use this. It also allows drummers to cheat. For instance, you could program a trigger to play 4 kicks in quick succession, which means that every time you kick the drum, the MIDI plays 4, which is how some bands get their blisteringly fast double kick sound. Someone once told me that the dude from Fear Factory uses them, but whether or not that's true, I refuse to believe it! Self-biased resistor rules! And now to play you out, self-biased resistor! Metal.
Metal! Careful now!